Wednesday show. Make sure you smash the like button. See, there's the comments. Is that distracting to y'all on the screen right there?
Bad. I mean,
Yeah, that's terrible.
I can't see that.
You don't like it, Ross? Lito?
It's
just too small. Like, you can't.
It's minute.
I mean, it's not for us. I mean, we can see him here.
That was crazy, Chad. It's just too small. Hey, happy National Burger Day.
First took away. Gas with this. Get your money's worth now.
Trying to meat, bake the buns.
Get the handmade tots. Homemade, if I keep saying that.
Company Burger is the official burger of Propels Talk and Boot Crew Media. Located at 4600 Ferret Street, Company Burger has been locally owned and operated for 11 years. Grind the meat, bake the buns, make the mayo, get the homemade tots. Company Burger uses Creekstone Farms prime beef to create the best burger in the city with milkshakes to go and a full bar. Company Burger is open every day besides Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Can't make it out? No worries, we have you covered. You can order online right now at thecompanyburger.com or check them out on the Toast or Uber Eats app. Company Burger, the official burger of Boot Crew Media.
Oh man!
Oh,
shout out to the CB, man. Shout out to CB. All right.
Smash the like button presented by Scott Vicknair Injury Law Firm. You've been hurt any kind of accident, car, truck, 18-wheeler, or hurt offshore. Scott Vicknair handles it all. Give him a call at 504-500-1111 for a free consultation. They always fight for the win. It's always powered by 4D.
For Dizzle.
All right.
I need some of that powdered.
Shout out to Theos.
Shout out to Theos, man.
Always Theos. Leo, we'll start with you. Y'all, I know y'all did a show last night on Carter Bryant, you, Chaz, Chris, Ivory, and you talked to me this morning. You talked to me this morning, and you know I'm a big Kon Kneuppel guy. That's how you pronounce his last name. It's just how you pronounce it. It's not Knueppel, it's Knueppel.
I don't know. Y'all said anything?
No, I saw the face.
He felt defensive because he just started defending himself for no reason. Like,
so at 7, Leo.
Yes, sir.
Are you sold on Carter Bryant?
I'm gonna say this, and Chaz was there. Chaz was there. He understood what was happening. I don't know, but the answer is not no. Like I think I am, but I don't know. Like, bro, this motherfucker he's like an enigma, bro. Like nothing makes sense. His points don't make sense. None of his stats make sense. And then like you see the film, and you like, damn, bro, it's a lot of game there that wasn't allowed to be like shown in real time. And Justin, you and I had a conversation. You kind of like told me from a coaching perspective on why. I mean, I'm gonna let you. I don't want to step on your point. I'm gonna let you say it.
No, it's, we looked up their roster, Lito, and they had that. I mean, I'm not gonna remember that. Caleb Love, is that his name? Point guard. Yeah. Senior transferring. He probably got paid to go there, so he's probably your number one option as a coach. You're probably like, hey, if you come here, you'll be the number one option. You'll run my offense, so on and so forth. Then you had, I believe, a junior transfer from Alabama. Then you had a sophomore guard who was a second year in the system, and then you had this freshman coming in, Carter Bryant. He's probably already slotted like as your fourth option on offense. So you kind of get forgotten a little bit right there, right? Because you have trust in your junior and your sophomore, and then you brought in your senior. That's the way I would see it.
The problem is it's kind of like I was telling you.
He wasn't featured in the offense.
He wasn't featured in shit. He didn't.
That's what I'm agreeing. Like I'm not. That's why.
Listen. Look, bro. Like y'all go watch this video. It's gonna come out soon. And Chaz was there, so he saw the footage and the highlights in real time. This dude could either be one of the. I told Justin he could be one of the greatest players to ever play in the NBA, or he could be like the worst bust of all time. Like it's like the sliding scale is crazy with him. So, the problem is though, Justin, the pick. Like I was telling you, is 7. At 7, I can't do it. I can't do it at 7, bro.
So you don't want Carter Bryant 7.
Not
Chaz,
at 7, no.
So Chaz, you had an interesting trade proposal. I think it was either today or yesterday, but you had DeJounte Murray and pick number 7 trading it with the Nets for Cam Johnson and I believe pick number 19 and 24.
Yeah, I mean,
or 19 and 27, something around those lines, right? So
they could give me pick 30. Honestly, I wouldn't give a fuck.
What I'm saying is, like, if you're trading back, do you think Carter Bryant would even fall that far?
To me, I view Carter Bryant kind of like, let's say you like it's a parent-teacher conference and you got a dumb kid, but the kid, you don't want to say the kid dumb. So you say, I just don't think he's challenged enough. He likes a challenge, like motherfucking average knees. But like when I watch Carter Bryant, he don't do nothing well, like nothing especially well at all. His athleticism doesn't jump off the screen. Like he doesn't do anything well.
But one of the most athletic combines according to the measurements.
But see, that's like Ben Simmons shooting threes in an empty gym. Because even if you have some issues, and I'm not opposed to taking them. I don't want to draft nobody at 7. If I'm being honest, I don't give a fuck who's there. I ain't draft nobody at 7. But I'm not opposed to drafting them later in the draft. But I'm just like, what kind of money laundering scam is this? Like, okay, so he has some type of issue with the head coach, or he has some type of issue with the offense. So you just ass? Like, I didn't know you could still average 6 points in the cliff of the draft. I thought it was like some type of threshold you had to like break. I didn't know that was possible. Yeah. Like, so you audacious enough to still like qualify. He not like passing the ball or nothing. He's averaging 1 assist, 1 turnover. He's not like Dennis Rodman on the boards. I don't know why you're playing in 19 minutes. Like, what are you really doing? Like, I'm trying to say, what are people base? I'm starting to think everybody paid off because what are people basing this off of? That's like, I don't understand it. But if he is there at like 19 or something, I mean, you ain't got nothing to lose. Fuck it, take a scratch off. Like, but at 7, fuck no.
Okay. Jarrett. So fears, Kon, Carter Bryant, maybe even Trey Johnson.
Let me talk about Carter Bryant for a second. If he was really good, I mean, like really good, and say he had like a bad year, he would be the guy that would go back to college and then prove it to be a top 5 pick. If he was like really, the fact that he's trying to get selected in this draft lets me know, nah, this ain't it. Like, he might have the measurables, right? We shot 105 threes.
Yes. At 37%.
Attempts, right? He went 39 of 105, shoots 37% from 3. Like, if you say somebody shot 37% for 3 in college, like, oh no, he can shoot it. Nah, this ain't. No, you gotta look at the tape.
Jeremiah Fears is shooting 23% from deep.
But that's on the volume and him being the guy. Like, you have to look at it all in context. Like, you have to surround it with context. So, nah, this is the guy you would take late in the first round. Like, he has like measurables, but it ain't.
I just thought about who he reminds me of because I was trying to figure it out. Because I watched this film some months ago, and I was like, nah, let me turn this off. This is a waste of my time. But now that he's coming full circle, Paul, he reminds me of Solomon Hill. His like watching him, I was like, this reminds me of somebody, and I couldn't really place it. Now I know it's Solomon Hill. He reminds me of Solomon.
Did you have something?
Yo,
then go Ross.
The thing is, nobody's wrong. He could be all of these things.
He could be nice.
Yeah, he could be.
Like
he could be nice.
That's just so crazy when you say it, Chance. Go ahead, Ross.
I'm not real familiar with whoever y'all were just talking about, other than the fact that the way y'all were describing it sounds to me a bit like the dude that was at Indiana, Stanley Johnson.
Oh, hey, he came up on the show last night. We mentioned him on the show last night.
Yeah, that he sounds like that to me. But nonetheless, before I say anything else, I've made the joke a bunch of times that I like don't watch any of our content after like the shows that we're on or whatever. That changed because I have been watching the player breakdowns that Lido, 5, Chris, everybody's been doing. I don't know the other dude that I don't know who that is, but he's been joining that guy. Good stuff.
That's Carter Bryant.
Like, hey, look, if you're averaging 6 points a game in college as like a guy that's going to get drafted, he might want to get into podcasting because it'll be long before he's joining the network. But no, look, I watched. I've been watching the player breakdowns. Great stuff all the way around, and I actually would not have said this a week ago before I watched some of the breakdowns. I would take Queen, and I wouldn't think twice about it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even. I mean, I wouldn't.
Let's go. Yeah, go ahead, Derik.
Wouldn't think twice about it. I would. And the other great show on Trey Johnson too. I mean, I just don't think he's going to get to 7. It seems like he's pretty rapidly moving up boards.
Ross, can you talk? Can you, for anybody I guess who hasn't seen him, can you talk about why?
Yeah, and look, I'm basing this a lot off of what you guys talked about in the show, and just kind of the way y'all were looking at his offensive skill set. It just became really clear to me after watching that one compared to the dude from Stanford, compared to Mallow. Like, he's just so much more skilled. And the Pelicans, and I'm guilty of it too. I think he is, and I'm not the person drafting players, but I'm guilty of trying to say, well, the team needs this position, or they need this or that or the other, and it's just not the right way to draft. Derik Queen, when you go back and watch, and so I watched the show and then I went and watched some other. I don't want. People would go nuts. He's ignore Cooper Flagg. He's the most skilled player in the draft, and I just don't even think it's that close. Like, his offensive skill set, he knows what's going on. He seems comfortable, like, in a variety of different offensive sets, offensive spots, whether the play is going through him, whether he's playing off the ball. And like, there were a couple of catch and shoot opportunities. He's, slip screen. He's good when he's, off one dribble. He just got a lot to his offensive skill set, like a lot. I don't know how, what the appropriate fit is with the other players on the roster. I don't know if he would start. I don't care about any of that. It's about talent accumulation. And if that talent is available at 7, you just draft him and you just figure it out later. You find it'll work itself out, just like what Oklahoma City's done when they had Shea, and then they drafted Cason Wallace, and they've drafted some of these other people saying, why do they keep taking all these guards? And they drafted Jalen Williams, and then you've got Chet, and then they go sign Hart. Like, these things that sometimes it's like, oh man, they seem to have a lot of players at this. It doesn't matter. Like, you just go get the most talented players and then figure out how to make it all work.
Yeah. Lito, go ahead.
No, five.
Oh, sorry, 5. My bad. Go ahead.
No. I think to Ross's point, I think Lito sold all of us on Derik Queen, because I just wasn't sure until I watched the tape. But I think he's Willie Green proof. Shout out to Grub. Like, that's a guy that you can't fuck over him. Like, he won't be. Like, his game is super simple. Like, it's not like shot related like a Jordan Hawkins, right? Like, you got to get him open. Like, no, he's not dependent on a coach to get him shots. Like, no, he'll make himself a good basketball player, whether it be rebounding, the passing, the placement on the floor, the screening. Like, he can do multiple things on the basketball floor, and that's why I believe, like, you just take that talent whenever you can.
The other thing, 5, is that he's not reliant on athleticism. It's not one of these situations of like, oh, he's so athletic that if he can learn these other things, he's going to be this. Like, I'm talking about basketball skills, like not this other thing where he only averaged 6 points, but he's got the wingspan and the physical no, like, go watch. He's got film is what he has.
I think he averaged 10 or 11 rebounds, if I'm not mistaken, Lito. 9, 10 or 11, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And he's not athletic.
Nope.
I just think that's a skill you gotta have.
I think the one thing that sold me, Lito, is when y'all broke down. I think it was the spin and then spin back, right? I was just like, it was smooth, it was controlled, and then his touch around the rim it's stuff like you can't teach. Now, a lot of people question though, in his draft stock, that is he in shape, his dedication, all this other kind of stuff. Like, that's like the one knock. Like, Lito, I don't know, or Chaz, I don't know if y'all have heard any different. Like, is there any like insight there on Derik Queen, because that does scare me a little bit. That does.
I've heard that as well from like just my reading. When I look at him, I mentioned this guy the other day. I kind of see a skilled like Montrezl Harrell type. What I mean by that is I see a career 6-man, career guy off the bench, because I don't think you can play him in the starting unit unless he's the focal point of the starting unit. I think everything would have to go through him. He holds the ball for a long time, kind of like surveys the court, sees what he needs to do. Has a really quality face-up game. Defensively, another reason is defensively, I don't think you could start him. But I think you could play him kind of like in the Nas Reed thing. Maybe his jumper comes along. Montrezl Harrell was 6-man of the year. You know what I'm saying? He just, the shit just went crazy. He went to the Lakers and fucked up, but he was a 6-man of the year. So I see him as a career.
He was a high energy guy though, Chaz.
Yeah, but what I mean by that is like me looking at Derik Queen, I don't see a guy who give you 35 minutes a night. I see a person you give about 20 minutes, he go out there, he just kill motherfuckers offensively, put back rebounds, cross them up. You just, he's your game changer, X factor type guy off the bench. I can't see him in a starting unit, because now I'm thinking, where do I play him?
Because he ain't a center, Chaz. He's definitely not. I know he played center. He's not a center, and then as a forward, he doesn't shoot the ball well enough.
But like to Ross's point, and to me in this draft, you just got to go best player available. That's why I almost want to trade back and just get just get different options at getting the best player available. Yeah. But
that's why I liked your trade.
Chaz, I thought the exact same thing, and then I looked at the rest of the draft and said, and I mean, I had this exact thought process and was like, okay, fine. If I end up with the 7th pick with somebody that is that I think can be a perennial 6-man of the year candidate, like a Nas Reed or a Harrell for like he was for 7-8 years. I'm like, if you told me guaranteed, like that's what I'm getting at the 7th pick, like hell in this draft, like all right,
you got to just
I'm in.
Best player available,
right?
All right, Lito. This is the next guy we've talked a lot about. I'll just say Kon. We talked a lot of.
Please, can I please make a point about Queen?
Yeah, I thought you wanted to talk about Queen, then you said 5. And then...
Well, 5. He had been waiting, so I didn't want to.
All right, go ahead.
Look,
one more thing.
You got what you asked me about, questions about conditioning, and the thing I could tell you about his condition is this. I've seen Zion Williamson, right? The thing that I can tell you with Queen is his weight has been descending since high school, right? He is made an emphasis on his body. You can tell when at Mount Verde, when he got serious about basketball his junior year, he started losing weight. You can look at him from his junior year to his freshman year in college. It's a stark difference. And I will guarantee you, based on his footwork and his basketball ability, because the thing is, like Ross talked about his footwork, that shit don't happen overnight. That's not something that you just learn. Like that's years of building and improving on your game. And the other thing about it too is why I'm not concerned about his lack of athleticism. He just didn't wake up today and couldn't. Yeah. He's not an athlete. You know what I'm saying? Like he has had to score over high flyers. He's had to score over taller players. He's had to learn how to get his shot. His mom's was a. I'm not gonna say she was an All-American, but she was a good college basketball player. So the pedigree's there. The other thing for me is like, I don't think he's a center. He's more of a big guard in a. I don't really know how I want to describe him, but you know what I'm saying?
Crab dribble he did in your film breakdown.
He's a big guard, and I think for me the thing, if you drafted him, I have no issues with him playing with Zion. I looked at that McDonald's High School All-American game. He was the MVP of the game. I mean, Cooper Flagg was playing. He was the most dominant player on the floor. I think he had a triple-double, or he damn near had a triple-double. every time the talent is there, you can look at the tournament, right? The coach comes in the huddle. Who wants the basketball? Me. I want the ball. Give me the ball. I mean, like I want that on my team.
It's crazy. I mentioned this dude last night, Lito, and I was like, looking at Queen, a person he reminds me of is Maurice Spates.
You did say that.
Yeah, I was like, but it wasn't in reference to him. I forgot who it was in reference to, but I was like ever since I seen Queen, I was like, even if he bottoms out of Maurice Spates was a quality player for the Warriors. You just had a ton of
legit player.
For the Warriors, like he was balling.
He was
balling. I mean,
I can't stress this enough because we started the show talking about the guy, whoever the other guy was. And we were
Carter Bryant.
We were talking about
Carter Bryant, man.
We were talking about comparisons for Carter Bryant to Stanley Johnson and Solomon Hill, and the people that you're comparing Derik Queen to. Even the chat, I've seen Al Jefferson, I've seen Zach Randolph. We've talked like
Greg Monroe, maybe.
It like a totally So just even if you just take a step back when you're looking at the 7th pick, it's like, well, do I want to draft a player compared to this type of or do you want somebody being compared to Solomon Hill? It's like, well, I know which one I would choose. But
in baseball, would you classify him as something like a designated hitter? Like, look, you just in here to go score a quick 15 points.
Derik Queen.
Yeah, like
a DH, like he could change the game. Like the DH changes the game.
Me, because like watching his film defensively, I'm like, yeah, he could get better. He could be serviceable. But I'm saying early on in his career, because I don't think you got 3-4 years with this team. I think first couple years, you better be ready to play. So with him, he's already polished. He's skilled. So you put him in a game, 6-man, first or second big off the bench, and go kill these dudes, man. Just do what you do.
So that's a perfect segue, Jared. I was gonna bring this up. Do you want to make a point on?
No. Go to segue.
Because I was gonna say one of the most NBA ready guys, according to reports, is Kon Kneuppel from Duke. You're a big Duke guy.
That's your guy.
He's probably the most. Not probably. He's the
best shooter.
Easily the best shooter in the draft. Field goal percentage, very efficient player. But Jarrett, the one thing I want to hear your thoughts on this. Like, I think he's more than a shooter. His handle isn't. I'm not saying his handle is. I'm not saying his handle isn't great. I'm saying though, Chaz, he could be more than just a spot up shooter.
See, I like Kon. A lot. I think he competes at a super high level. Right. I think you have to be more than a shooter, right? Like you have to have more than that in your bag, because we've seen guys labeled as shooters get into the league and they just fall off a cliff, right? Like the sight lines are different, the ball is different, like everything's different, the speed of the game is different, throws off your shot a little bit. JJ Redick even struggled early on with his jumper, and he was National Player of the Year coming out of Duke. So there are things where you see guys struggle. I mean, we've seen Jordan Hawkins, I thought the best shooter in the draft, struggle coming out the gate. So, pause. I think Kon competes at a super high level, right? I think that's maybe the strength that he should probably rely on. I don't think there's enough time for him to get a better handle. So I think the thing he probably should work on is athleticism in a sense, right? Lateral quickness, left to right, ability to guard maybe a 2 or 3, like these small, how he competes, getting rebounds, these small, intricate things that make him a better, basketball player rather than just shooting. Now, being on the floor with Zion, being on the floor with a Trey Murphy, I think would allow him to shoot a little bit better, even from 3 early on. But I don't want to rely just on that singular aspect of his game. But I would draft him still at 7. I would.
Chaz, I'm interested in your thoughts because look, I'm not saying Kon, like obviously his athleticism is a big question. Can he keep, defensively? How will he be? The one thing that me and Jared I think agree on is that he competes defensively, and that's more than half the battle. But Chaz, one thing that you had mentioned about this team is like kind of scrawny. We have some very slim players. Kon's 6'6", 219. He's a decent, body build. I just, if you're going to stay at 7, why not Kon? Because he's like, you want to think he's a shooter?
Well, I think there's a lot more cons than pros. First of all, firstly is I don't like drafting for need, right? And shout out to Booker's that guy. His efficiency at the rim is god awful. And I feel like
where's that stat at?
I feel like I could get a shooter with the second, because it always goes the same way with these shooters, bro. It's always one on the street with a sign, and you go sign him, and he has this incredible year as a free agent, and then you go get a nice contract somewhere else. You just saw it with Malik Beasley. You saw it before with Anthony Morrow. You got Matt Ryan off the street, even though he got benched. Antonio Reeves was in the fucking second round. To me, you don't spend a first round pick, especially not in the early lottery, on Kon Kneuppel. Kon Kneuppel at 17, cool. But what's homie out there in what's the dude, man, in Washington?
Oh, Corey Kispert?
Corey Kispert. Excellent shooter in college. Gets to the league. Terrible. What's Jimmy Fredette just officially retired in Taiwan, dropping 139 points. In America, couldn't do shit. Right? I think you go get, to me, I'd rather a motherfucker who can't shoot at all and he could do other things and worrying about figuring out how to make him 38% from beyond the arc versus somebody who shoot 44% from beyond the arc but can't do nothing else. You could get him off the street via free agency, minimum deal. Dante Exum back in the league. Like, you know, there's random shooters. You literally got Darius Miller off the street like before. Like, these dudes are everywhere. Like, you could just go find a shooter. Go get you somebody with some real skills, some real transferable talent. Not saying Kon doesn't, because Kon, he could be nice, but I don't see Austin Reeves in this game. I don't really see, you know, I'm trying to think. He probably better than Jordan Hawkins today. Like, but still, I don't draft a need, in my opinion. Take the best player available.
Ross and Lito.
I mean, I kind of agree, I think, a little to a certain extent with Chaz that 7 feels just a hair too high in the draft. Having said that, I do think he's more than just like I think I said this when we talked about
Ross,
it.
I mean, I got to stop the show. Sorry.
Who am I?
There have been gifted over 50 memberships probably in the last week and a half. The fact that you haven't gotten a membership yet is nearly impossible. It's literally nearly impossible. So we apologize. What?
Who's a mod? Who he said we make?
Man, who am I, Corey?
I don't even know I don't know what that means, but I don't.
A mod, like a person who kind of moderate the channel and like ban people and do stuff like that.
Hell, I don't even think
we might need a mod or two in this bitch.
We need a mod for this.
Yeah, right.
But
Lala,
ahead,
we gotta figure out how to get co-membership, please. Go ahead, Ross.
Well, you got
that's 15. Shout out to X-Man.
Hey,
always in the
if
building.
Cole don't get one,
He don't deserve
Shout out to Sam.
You don't get one, you don't deserve it.
Whoa, get on your computer, bro. You can't do it from your phone.
That is kind of wild. God damn.
You don't deserve it.
Smash like that.
Hey, shit. Go ahead, bro.
I think he's more than Corey Kispert. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I think his tape looks better than that. I think he's
some
more,
connector to his game, right?
Yeah, and I think he can do like he's not gonna like initiate the offense or something, but there is a little like Gordon Hayward-ish like aspect.
Dyson Daniels, maybe, or Gideon.
I don't know if that's a joke or not.
No, I'm being serious. Like as a connector, I saw him do a little bit of connector work.
I mean, no, he definitely knows how to play basketball, and that's what I'm saying. It's not like he's not just a guy who is going to stand in the corner and you know shoot when it comes. You know, I think I just think he's got more. Like he's not Duncan Robinson,
right.
Even though Duncan Robinson's a great movement shooter, you know, all that good stuff. But like I don't think his game is just shooting. But again, 7 feels a little higher than where I would want to take him. But like, if we ended up with him, I wouldn't be devastated by it because I think he's going to be a very, very good shooter. But I also think there's like just enough other stuff to make me think like, okay, maybe there's a little more. Like maybe Gordon Hayward is like the top.
No, Gordon Hayward was an all-star.
I know that. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if that's the like absolute ceiling
absolute
for
best,
somebody
yeah.
like that, I'm saying like the absolute best case scenario. You know, and I don't. Again, I'm not saying because I don't think he's that tall, and I don't think he's quite got that much like sort of driving ability that Gordon Hayward had to his game. I don't think he's as athletic as Gordon Hayward was. But when you watch him dribble, and you watch some of the plays he makes in terms of just being smart about getting to his spot, I don't know.
Yeah, I think bro, he definitely can ball. I feel like kind of like with other pieces, I feel like he's more of a finishing piece. Like if you're OKC, you can afford to experiment with someone like that.
Yeah.
Versus like,
and that's why I think 7 is. That's why I think it feels like 7 is too high.
Right. But I think it's gonna be fine.
So y'all are both agreeing that that's to just move back in the draft.
Yeah, I am.
I mean, besides that,
we're gonna hear
Queen's thoughts, but we're gonna
Fears,
talk
whatever. Yeah.
Well, that's our next topic. But
hold on,
Jerry, you had something. Go ahead, Lito.
No, my bad. I just find it funny. Chaz talked about this a couple months ago about how people compare other like players and they'll find somebody
white players. Yeah.
So Ross mentioned Gordon Hayward. Who else?
Duncan Robinson.
Look, that's why I tried to. I was like, well, Dyson's 1/4. Let me throw Dyson out.
You did try. You tried to help a little bit. I didn't catch that at the time. I appreciate
Chad did it
appreciate
too.
you
They were
looking
talking
out
about
for
Derik
me.
Queen. He was like Al Jefferson, Zach Randolph.
Because my thought was Sengun, right? But I was like, Sengun just super skilled. That's why I'm like, I don't know. And I've seen Sengun, this motherfucker was shooting one leg threes and shit like a season ago. So I don't know.
That's why I kin him to Kelly Olynyk. I know that's kind of wild, but like he can pass, he can shoot a little bit, not have the range like Kelly at this point, but
you think Kelly a little more back to the basket than Queen, or
well, at this point, like with the NBA, like nobody really plays back to the basket anyway. Like we don't see that from Kelly now, right? Like maybe early on, but not now.
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
Lito, Kon at 7.
I'm kind of like, bro. I'm with Chaz, right? I don't like nobody at 7. Like 7 just such a weird number.
You just told me Carter Bryant's top 5. Literally this morning, you told me Carter Bryant's top 5.
I
know, but I was saying I wouldn't draft him at I wouldn't take him there. Like when we talk, if I could get him later in the round,
yeah.
But I can't in good consciousness take him at 7. I can't do that. The thing with Kon is, look, Kon a shooter, bro. He the best shooter in the draft. You can never have enough shooters.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this though, Justin. What's the difference between, I don't know, let's say getting drafting Kon and getting, I don't know, trading back, getting off DeJounte salary and getting Cam Johnson like Chaz talked about.
So Chaz had a trade proposal. Chaz, you can elaborate a little bit more on this, but I think we've kind of all talked about it, but we mentioned earlier in the show, but it was DeJounte number 7, and you trade back for Cam Johnson 19 and 27.
Yeah, well, it can be any 2 picks, truthfully.
Sure. So you're thinking you can get 2 picks for number 7 in this year's draft.
Well, the way I'm viewing it is the Nets don't plan on being good for quite some time. Also, they don't have the salary to move to even get Giannis if they wanted to. I don't know if they necessarily have great draft capital. So it's in their best interest right now to continue to tank. So they're rumored to be interested in another lottery pick. I think what you saw with Cam Johnson in the first half of the year may have been a little bit more of a flash in the pan. If I'm the Pelicans, my number 1 priority this offseason is to move off of the DeJounte Murray's contract. It gotta be. And if by this being a quote unquote like weaker draft, quote unquote, I think this is absolutely the draft you look to move back. And the Nets, they want to move up. They're looking for their next superstar to pair with whoever. Give them as many shots in the lottery as you want. Your timeline is a lot different. You got an aging CJ McCollum. You got injuries all along the perimeter at the wing. Somebody just put it up 5. Damn, 5 young. But yeah, so I definitely think that's something you should look to explore. Like, and they got people like shout out to Ivory. He showed what's his name? That dude named Thomas Sorber or Sorter. something like that. Shout out to them, no disrespect. But there's other guys to me that if you're not hitting a home run anyway, it don't really matter who you draft. Like if I can move DeJounte, I don't give a fuck who I draft. Honestly, if I can move DeJounte, it matters a lot less. Because Sorbet, no, it ain't Sorbet. Because that's what I first thought when I saw it. But I do think if you got an opportunity to move back and you can move off of DeJounte's contract, and in the event you can land a Cam Johnson, it would be excellent. To me, it would be ideal. And I don't care if it's pick 30 they give up. It could be pick 30 in like 4 seconds. I'm doing it. Like if I could, yeah, I'm doing it.
All right, last talk. Make sure you smash the like button.
But what are y'all doing?
Well, I want to talk about Jeremiah Fears.
Oh, okay.
Or you want to talk about the?
No, I'm saying if y'all can move 7, because some people love this draft. If y'all can move 7 and move DeJounte's contract, would y'all do it, or would y'all try to hold on to 7?
Man, move that
to do that
immediately.
To do that.
Like if that's the pending thing, like move off it as soon as you can. I think the most beneficial thing you could do is just try to move DeJounte as quickly as you can, whatever it kind of it takes in reason to do so.
And Chaz, you've been talking about that too, because like DeJounte Murray barely played this year, and then next year he's not coming back till January, and he's still not going to be himself
at the earliest.
And so like you're going to lose 2 years. Like it's a really distressed asset, and you have to find a way to get off that contract. Lito Ross, any thoughts on trading back?
Is paramount. Like I don't think people might not understand how the Pelicans, honestly, they can't be bad this season because of the pick swaps.
Right.
It's paramount you get off the DeJounte contract. It's not something that it's not like how they've been doing free agency with the Saints with the cap situation. You can just keep kicking this can down the road. Like you really got to get off the salary this year. I'm fine trading back. But to be honest, I'm with Chaz, bro. Like, if I could get rid of that contract, I really don't even care about the pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would garner so much. It would do so much for the franchise.
Well, since I think we all agree on that, would y'all trade back in the absence of a removal of DeJounte? Like, if you can include DeJounte's contract, if it's more like a deal akin to what you see in the NFL draft, where it's like, hey, we'll take 16 and 21 or whatever. You give us 7. It's not. I mean, that might be a bad example, but would you do a deal that got you, let's say, 2 picks in the teens for 7? If you could just make that switch right now.
Depends who's on the board. Because if I did believe Derik Queen was like a 6th man of the year type candidate, probably just take Derik Queen for all that and just say, fuck it. Now, another thing to consider too is if you are taking a Kon Kneuppel or if you are taking a Fears or what have you, you paying them like the 7th pick. Mm-hmm. So you about to be paying them like $6-7 million, and they might not even play. So that's another thing to think about.
Yeah. Sorry, this is off topic. Cole, I was born at Earl K. Long, just to let you know. So by proxy, I am the 225 representative. Just to help you out.
I've been on Plank Road a ton.
I've been in rags multiple times.
I was in Chimes when they first opened. I feel like I you know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't. Yeah,
it's all right, Justin. I'm taking you to Chimes one day, Justin. No trip.
All right, cool.
You never been to Chimes?
Like
the
Chimes?
Ain't never been to Chimes.
Never been to Chimes, bro?
You ever been to Balls in Lake Charles?
I ain't never been to Lake Charles.
It's a restaurant.
You've never been to Lake Charles?
Nah.
Never been to LC?
Hey, man.
You've never been to Lake Charles?
Hey, man, I've had a great time in LC.
Shout out to the LC, man.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's baby Houston. Shout out to the LC.
Damn.
I went to Houston.
Hey.
Yeah, make sure you smash the like button. 111 people there. Appreciate y'all on Wednesday night. Jeremiah Fears 7.
At 7?
It's at 7. We have pick 7. I don't.
Shout out Reggie Ball.
7 is just such a tough number, man. Like for Kon, it's for Kon and Fears. I think they're in the same boat. I would like them at like 13 to 15, but at 7, it's almost like I don't know. Like again, we talked about this before. Remember when like Bill Belichick was pointing out like this is the type of player you would draft at 1, 2, and 3, like a first round pick because they met this measurable. And look at, we talk about like 4 through 10 and they meet this measurable. Like, I just don't love them enough to draft them at 7. I would rather draft them at like 13. I love Fears' skill set. I think he has a chance to develop. He's a bit undersized at times. His ability to finish is good. He has, trouble passing the ball. There's that, but I would rather draft him mid first round rather than that early.
Yeah, I'm out on Jeremiah Fears. I don't think I'm at 7. I wouldn't do it at 7.
My bad.
I just think that I don't know if any of y'all have thoughts on Fears, but the way we've talked about this, I almost feel like it's Derik Queen would be y'all's most popular pick at 7. If not, you're kind of
taking Queen at 7.
Back. So
I'm taking.
So everybody's agreeing Queen at 7 is your best bet over Kon, Carter, Fears.
I don't know if Queen makes it to 7 though. Honestly,
Really?
I feel like
I
feel like Ace is gonna drop. I really feel like Ace is gonna drop.
My next statement was, would you move up for Queen?
No, I wouldn't. No, that I wouldn't do. I wouldn't move up for nothing in the draft. Honestly.
Yeah, it's interesting. All the mock drafts definitely have Queen after 7. I'm trying to think about seeing a single one that hasn't.
Now, and we talked about this on the show. He could be like fluking the interviews bad, because that shout out to DMV. He could be flunking them interviews bad. And like Ace, that clip that came out with Ace, I was like, oh my God, Ace
practicing the hard shots.
Say no comment, Ace. It just like these interviews these days, like that's what happened with Shade and Sharp. He's like, I'm not training, I'm not gonna practice for none of y'all.
It's like you also didn't have that great of a year and your team sucked and missed the tournament. Like
Maryland? Yeah, Maryland's kind of bad.
No, Rutgers.
Oh, Rutgers. Oh, yeah.
You're talking about Ace Bail, yeah. This is the fan questions, comments, and we'll get out of here. It's about 10 more minutes. Denzel, y'all think the Spurs would give up 14 for Herb, Lido?
No.
You don't?
I don't. I think the Spurs in the market for, I think they almost like big game hunting. Mm-hmm. Almost. I think that this is no disrespect when I say this. I think they could find a Herb.
Yeah. I think so. Okay. I don't know if I'd do that honestly in this draft. I probably would, but I would rather move that 14. If I could, I'd rather put my own picks with Herb and go get somebody good. I just don't like this draft. That's really what it is to me. Like, I'm not in love with this draft. You about to say something, Ross?
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking the same thing though. That like I would almost rather just like Herb's got a salary that can be useful in a bigger trade. I just like at 14. I still think Herb is easily tradable whenever you would decide to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, that for me is why I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm probably not doing that. Buku stat guys, so Derik, Queen, and Missy off the bench together. No, Eves would be starting.
Think so?
Eves would be starting. I think he should, right?
Especially you think Queen would start over Missy? Sorry.
No, I was saying I think they might go get a starting center.
I guess. I mean, I guess they have Olynyk.
Nah, that's not what I meant by starting.
Wasting time, right?
Bro, like I don't.
No, I mean I think they got enough salary and enough space and enough money and picks to go get like a real third big option type center, even if it's like Sharp or somebody like that. You could get a nice center rotation without having a star center.
Yeah,
save it for Sunday because I think Misi could be gone.
Be out of here.
How about that? Listen. Hey, check this out.
No disrespect, but go.
what's that chunk?
No disrespect to the guy. You know what I'm saying?
There it is. No disrespect, then proceed to disrespect.
I appreciate all your accomplishments you made in your rookie season, bro. But I'm not married to Misi, bro. I would listen. It would be nothing for me to find a player I value more than him, especially considering like Joe Dumas ain't draft him, so Joe really ain't married to him either. It'd be nothing for Joe to, find his guy.
I think he's quality rotational center, but I don't know if he's ready. I mean, he can show a lot in summer league, but I don't know if he's ready to start just yet, especially considering the defensive rebounding and the defensive.
Y'all think Hawkins is playing summer league?
Dude,
who?
Hawkins?
He better.
Man,
In fact, if he doesn't play summer league, it'll kind of signal to me that he's off. That he's probably off the roster. That they already have something in place. There's no justification for him not playing summer league.
My bad, Russ.
If I was trying to say. Yeah, go ahead, Lito.
Do you think Missy dominates or not dominates? Because that I don't believe. I don't want to put false narratives on him that he can't live up to. Do you
like Hakeem?
Like Don Maker?
That's crazy, bro. Do you think that he can? Do you think he can average a double-double in summer league?
Yeah. He can average
summer
double-double.
league.
I thought you were going to ask something more
the
egregious.
season.
No, I thought you were going to ask can he dominate summer league, and I was going to have a different answer. Then I don't think his skill set is capable of dominating in that type of environment.
You know what's crazy with Misi? Misi got to have the least impactful near double-double I've ever seen.
Leo, I just said this to you today. He's just he's not impactful stats here.
But I do think he's a very solid rotational
he's
big.
a solid guy. He's
very
solid. But once again, he can be traded. This isn't a untradeable guy.
I got two untradables on this team.
Two.
And they
I don't think it's who I think it is. All right.
Well, who are your untradables?
It's Zion and Trey.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it's not even in that order. it's more trades.
Yeah, Jared.
To be honest, I'm actually interested in seeing Misi after the summer, his first summer of I'm intrigued.
Oh,
what is it? He impressed me from preseason to
sure.
the first preseason to December. That was a different person and actually got better. So what is
you're absolutely right, Jared. 100%. But I think where this all started was Misi can be traded. This isn't a guy that's not untouchable. There was one question here. So from Sam, we'll go with Chaz. So after Thunder win the NBA championship and got to start paying players, which one would fit here?
That's a good question, Sam. I think any of their players would fit because they kind of got a bunch of guys who, if you notice watching them, the Pelicans don't currently have almost any of their type of players on this roster. And that's why I keep saying you need to move on from certain people because watching the teams that's left in the playoffs, nobody on in this roster looks like that for the most part. Maybe with the, Sands, Zion, or Trey. But I'm telling you, you can't be one-dimensional once it gets the stakes are this high.
And I got bad news, Sam. Go look at OKC's cap sheet.
Yep.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful. They got flexibility. In fact, I think the only bad contract the only contract you would be concerned about that actually falls off of their books in the next few years is Lou Dort.
Yeah.
Shoot,
and you kind of need his contract.
In a year and a half. Well, they got Caruso. But in a year and a half, hell, they're going to have max money. They're set up. They really are set up to be good for a long time if things don't go poorly somehow.
And then let's see, there's one more. Yeah, I think it's who y'all want to draft. It's obviously Derik Queen. I guess I think we talked about this for a little bit, but the guys I would not be okay with drafting, or who I do not want to draft at 7, Malowak.
Oh God.
And Ace Bailey. Those two are just no.
Can I just say this about Malowak? Can I say this about Malowak? Look.
How many Maloks do you see in the playoffs?
I'm gonna be real. Firstly, you see Rudy Gobert. Shout out to Rudy. That's the best case scenario. He's been played off the court virtually every playoffs in his entire career. Every. So also, if you look at all the centers in the NBA, even the ones who aren't quote unquote stretch centers, they're all accompanied by stretch centers, like with the remaining teams. The last one was probably Jared Allen, you saw he got played off the court pretty much
2 years in a row.
Yeah, 2 years in a row. That archetype, you can build a defense around him. Man, that shit don't matter in the NBA. Like, none of that matters. You need to be able to score. It's a perimeter game. You need to be able to shut people down along the perimeter. You need to be able to score with the best of them. You need to be able to run and gun. That's what Indiana ain't got the most talent. They play at an incredible pace. Almost everybody can shoot. They defend tenaciously. They got a good enough coach, championship coach. You know what I'm saying? Second unit gives you quality minutes. Their second unit is so good. They got lottery picks. They don't even play. Ben Mathurin rarely plays. So,
bro,
with dude, and that dude, that body type, he gonna be injured probably. I'm not interested.
That's the irony is you just brought up in Indiana, and the only way I would consider is if you could convince me that he had some kind of Miles Turner like curve to that Malowak was going to potentially, because Miles Turner didn't shoot threes and stuff. And I went back and looked. He wasn't some knockdown shooter in college or something. That kind of developed early on in his NBA career. And if you could convince me of something that he was going to be that type of center, block shots, can halfway get up and down the floor, and can help stretch the floor, then maybe. But otherwise, it's tough because you when you get to this level of the playoffs,
I would just need to know how many 7-2 centers didn't average a double-double. I understand the rebound rate and the concept of it, but I'm still you're 7-2. You got played off the court in the Duke's last game. You average what? 4 rebounds? 6. It's average 6 rebounds on the season. Your block rate isn't that incredible neither. And the combine, even your 3-point shooting, they have the open drill and the 3-point shooting. It was I think he's shooting I think it was 50%, something like that. And people, that's not bad. But it's Ben Simmons shoots 80% in the empty gym. So I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be bad or good. I just think he has more risk.
But even if he is good, Chaz, you just literally said it. His ceiling, right? If it all goes so well, is Rudy Gobert, in which you're seeing him getting played off the floor again in another playoff series. Yeah. Once again, if we're talking about at number 7, that's a no-go for me. And then obviously Ace Bailey. I'm out on Ace. But look, anybody with Kon, Derik, Carter, even Fears.
Who's Carter? Carter Bryant.
Carter Bryant.
Because Carter.
Go ahead.
Carter Bryant is not an NBA forward. He is the bad kid in 4th grade at a private school, a white private school. When your kid comes home, it's man, we got a bad kid in class, and if he said his name was Carter Bryant, I'd be oh yeah, no,
that
sounds like a bad
Carter.
kid. Sounds like a bad kid.
Hey,
listen, go ahead, Lino.
Nah, listen, I hate that we compare. God damn it, I hate that people about to make me defend Rudy Gobert
and Rudy Cole.
Bro,
Rudy Cole, they don't win the Lakers series without Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert's a Hall of Famer.
We gotta stop it. We gotta stop it, bro. We gotta stop comparing tall people to him, because technically he wasn't even supposed to be him. He literally was never on track to be any of this. Rudy Gobert is a floor. He's a ceiling raiser defensively for your team. Rudy, you look at the teams he's been on, right? You look at immediately, you go to Minnesota, they're top 5 defense. It's no way you telling me Malowak is gonna come into the NBA and he's eventually one day gonna do that. It's not gonna happen. He's not.
And my last thing on Malloy, because I hope he has an excellent career.
Yeah, same.
I done seen this story so many times. Bo's still around. Thon Maker just got out the league not too long ago.
Thon Maker.
Like I've seen this story so many times where I'm just like, just cause it's like I mentioned Dragon Bender the other day. It's like when they had like the European like the invasion, like the Beatles. Like everybody, we need a motherfucker like Dirk. We need a motherfucker like that. And it's like, bro, there's only one Dirk. Like there might just be one of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I hope Mo Bamba is another one. Shout out to L. That's another person. I'm like, I've seen this so many times, dog.
Yeah.
Like, nah.
So we all pretty much agree. No Malowak at 7 and
No
Derik Queen
Malowak.
at 7.
Which means Malowak is getting drafted at 7.
Yeah,
There's no doubt in my mind. We're going to be live for the draft, and you know for a fact. You know for a fact Malowak is at 7.
And if he get drafted, I'm gonna support him, dog. You know, it's just I hope it works out.
Are you gonna be excited, Chaz? You're gonna support him, but
To me, again, if you get the trades right, I don't give a fuck who you draft at 7. Just roll the dice. I don't care, right? Because it's all a crapshoot anyway. If you get the trades right, but if you fuck the trades up and you draft, I'm gonna be upset. So we'll see.
I agree with Chaz on that because there's like a bunch of scenarios where if we drafted Malowak as like the center of the future, I'd be like, and the other stuff goes the way I think it could, in a perfect scenario, I'd be like, okay, yeah, that actually all makes sense. Like it wouldn't be, it's not like the end of the world if you draft Malowak.
Yeah, I wouldn't give a shit.
No, none of it's the end of the world.
I don't want that player. I just don't want it. But like, it's not.
Hey, Justin, one more thing.
One more thing. We gotta have one more thing.
We gotta get one more thing. Yeah.
One more thing, Connor. Hey, for real. No, on some real shit. This is serious. I'm not even joking. The Thunder versus the Pacers. That's that's good hoop.
Yeah, I'm going to enjoy that series.
Yeah,
and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to bitch and complain about it, but I agree.
That's weirdos, dog.
That's good hoop, bro. And that let me know who are really like into the shit for like actually watching good basketball versus, you know what I'm saying, whatever stand run accounts people have and their favorite players not playing. Like, bro, that shit is good hoop. Styles make fights. Both of those teams are so drastically different in how they play basketball. The one thing about it, though, is they both have identities on offense and defense, and they know who they are.
Yeah.
Y'all bring Josh Hart back.
So y'all was bad mouthing Carlisle too.
What?
What
did you say, Chaz?
Well, I already know, Justice. Nobody won't bring Josh Hart back.
No.
That's a no. That's a consensus no. All right, the no's have it.
No, right. Him and D'Angelo Russell, absolutely not. No way. Smash the like button. We'll see y'all Sunday night. Hey, for real though, make sure to check out all the great content going on. You got Grub dropping shows Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. You got film reviews dropping every Tuesday, Friday. So man, shouts to everybody putting in work. Smash the like button. We'll be back on Sunday night. See y'all later.